Hello friends, if this is the first video you're catching of mine, my name is Danielle, hello, and today we are going to talk a little bit more in length about something I mentioned in a previous Wine With Me. So what that was about my keto diet and some of my journey so far, and for those that have been on my Facebook page, you probably know some of this already, but I will also update you on where I'm at currently. And well, it's been a journey, almost a little over half of a year, and just like life in general, there's ups and there's downs, and there's, good or bad, but I haven't given up. That's the key point, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Also want to share a couple of recipes, one of which is actually something my husband came up with, and I recently tried, and I really like it. I thought it would be, because it's simple too. I mean, both of these are really simple recipes, so if you're interested in trying them, or you're on a similar journey even, maybe that would give you some more inspiration, or another idea to what to fix, because that's actually one of his struggles, is knowing what to fix. Sometimes we can get in a rut making the same things because it's so easy, and just have no idea what to fix when you're on a particular diet of any kind. Now, as I've mentioned in the previous Wine With Me, first I'm going to forget. So the wine that I'm drinking today is actually from a friend of mine. Her name is Allison, and she just randomly, for no reason in particular, got me this one here. It's got a beautiful dragon on it. And is by the brand Guerlain Dragon, and this is a Malbec, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Malbec. And she got me actually two of these by the same brand. This one is a dry red, and the other one was a dry wine, white wine. I think it's one of those that I can't pronounce, but it was a dry white wine. I enjoyed that one just fine, and now I'm going to try this one. So figured, since we're talking about keto, low carb, that sort of thing, that this dry wine would be a ideal pick to be drinking while we're doing this video. So not my usual pick, but I know she was being very considerate and thoughtful with getting me something out of my comfort zone, and something that would be, like I said, more for this kind of diet and things that I was doing, and her way of supporting my journey on that. So anyways, let's get back to where I was at. So with this keto diet that I have been doing and everything, it has been kind of a journey. I have done really great with it. The reason I even started it, let's start from the beginning. The reason I started it was because I had some other female issues going on, and they noticed my blood pressure was up really, really high. So he recommended me get with my primary care doctor. So I made an appointment with her, went and got blood work and everything else checked out, and not only did I end up having high blood pressure, as I found out, but I also was pre-diabetic. So that started me on this journey. And as I was going to say, before I wanted to show the wine that I'm drinking, actually not bad at all for a dry wine. So I'm not on a strict keto diet, and I know there's some people that I understand kind of have mixed feelings about that, or they don't recommend doing it the way that I'm doing. But I don't prefer to do strict keto, and it's kind of like some of them that I found make it very complicated in some ways, but because there's intermittent fasting and all that, related to it to make it truly successful. But at the same time, I think just doing it the way that I have has helped me, and I will share with y'all in just a little bit why I think that is. Not so much with my pre-diabetic, with other things as well. But I just usually use the recipes that are low carb or keto because I know that they're not going to have a lot of sugars and sometimes even, very little salts and things like that. And what it consists of a lot of times too is like substitutes, like cauliflower rice instead of regular rice, your white rices and stuff. And of course I've always kind of used quinoa also in replace of rice, for example. But cauliflower rice is also good if you can find ways to use it as rice that works for you. I found some recipes I like better than others with that by itself. It's not very tolerable, I agree, but like if you do like a stir fry rice or something like that, that's one of them I like. Other substitutes would be like for pastas and stuff like that. I'm going to share one of them in the video here using palmini. Let's see, there's lentil pasta, chickpea pasta. I like those. Getting those, you gotta get those organic too. But I also got into using dash seasonings to cut back on the salts, and just all these different changes like that. Another one I did that I thought I would never do is cutting out sugar in my coffee and my tea. And I have another video coming up talking about a tea that I have been trying, because that's probably my biggest challenge, is finding like other drinks or finding drinks that I can have besides just plain water, and having them without sugar. There's got to be some kind of flavor there. But coffee, I actually have found I can tolerate that one pretty well, and I never thought I would. I just put like some creamer, and I have a couple of different creamers that I use, and I'll insert a picture around here somewhere in the corner, maybe right here, of the creamers that I like to use for my coffee. And my favorite one is the Keto Rapid Fire one. It's found at Walmart, but I always get mine like through Amazon, and that one's probably my most favorite. And I could drink that, just like a tablespoon of that in my coffee with no sugar whatsoever, and I'm perfectly good to go. I think it also helps my metabolism, because it's supposed to aid with that as well, and a few other things that you'll probably see when I show you the picture. It'll say on there, promotes this, promotes that. And so that's just some of the changes that I have been making. So the reason that I think that it has helped is that I lost, let's see, since I started, I know that I've lost up to 40 plus pounds. I was pushing 230 something. And now, since my last weigh-in, I'll also insert a picture here, up here, of a chart showing where, I've been making gradually losing weight, and I'm now at 186, I believe was what the number is. It'll be on there. And so that has been a huge accomplishment, just cutting out the sugar, cutting back on the salts, and watching that, and just eating overall healthier has helped a lot. Now I do make a big deal, and I did mention too, my husband and I have had issues, especially when I'm not working and he has to pay for the groceries. It has kind of been an issue with us because there are some condiments and steak sauces and ketchup and mayonnaise and things like that I use for flavor, but I'm picky about it, and I'm picky about the brands, because although a lot of brands are coming out with avocado mayonnaise, or coming out with low sugar or no sugar options, if you look at the ingredients, they're still using very bad oils like canola oil, sunflower oil, palm oil. They're using natural flavors and a bunch of other things that you can't pronounce. And when it comes to low sugar or no sugar, they're using substitutions like sucralose, maltitol, just the list goes on. There's so many different other names for sugar. Now stevia, it has a slight little bit of aftertaste, but in some things I don't mind that. Also another one is monk fruit, that's good, but all the other ones I try to avoid those at all cost, and consequently those items do cost a lot more. So, but with making all those changes, and the reason that he's willing to do that sometimes for me, it hurts our budget sometimes. We'd rather not spend that money, but we both understand in the long run that it has benefited me, and I worked so hard myself, I don't want to go backwards. With that being said though, I have, like I said, this is a journey, like life's a journey. There's a lot of ups and downs, and I've had my downs a couple of times, but I have got back on track, just to clarify that. But while my daughter was here, I did pretty good for the most part while she was here. And the last couple of weeks, I think we just got lazy. We didn't get to the grocery store and that sort of stuff. So we started, either eating out more, or we would order, stuff to be sent to the house or something like that. That wasn't always the best choices. Not that I can't order things from the restaurants that are healthy. I just didn't. To be honest, I just didn't. And so I made a promise to myself that when we got back home and everything, after traveling, and I still made bad choices while we were traveling, and while we were there for a couple of days in Arkansas, that I still made bad choices. So I made a promise to myself that when I got back, I was not going to give up on all the hard work that I had done. The last time I had lost even near as much weight as I've done, I had only gone 3 months. And this time I've done it longer. So I knew I couldn't just shit on all the work that I had done and start gaining all the weight back and everything. So I have made a point to, the last couple of weeks or whatever, to eat better and get back on my diet and make better choices again. So like I said, The last time I weighed myself, I had got down to 186, and that's a huge deal because during the couple of weeks or whatever that I had made the bad choices while my daughter was here, I weighed myself and I had actually gained 4 pounds. So somehow in the traveling and all the other more poor choices I made, I lost all that and more. So I lost all the 4 pounds that I had gained and more. So I'm back on track. I'm back to making my choices, my good choices. So now I think for the rest of the video, I'm going to share with you the 2 recipes, at least 2 recipes, and there'll be more in the future if you're interested in this and if this benefits you in any way. I will share other recipes periodically that I have discovered and that I like. And most of these that I have, I get from a few different places. There's one girl, Jaime, she does keto recipes. She also sells some other keto stuff herself. But what I'm mostly like her for and interested in is her keto recipes. So I'll share a picture there, the information for that. I also did Plate Joy for most of my journey here and discovered a lot of easy, healthy recipes that I was able to do from there. So Plate Joy was one, and also Diet Doctor. And recently the app has been acting funny on me, but I can still look up the recipes and still, go off of it, although some of the features are not all working for me. But that is just a few places that I get some of my recipes from. And like I said, one of them that I'm going to share with you tonight is actually from my husband. He came up with it on the fly. So here are the 2 recipes that I'm going to share with you. This is kind of hubby's creation. It's very versatile. You can use any version of garlic and onion, especially fresh garlic and onion if you prefer. This is just what we had on hand. These are the ingredients we had today, but I usually prefer a block of grass-fed cheddar and grate my own cheese. You can use any vegetable you like. I prefer peas and carrots for this particular thing. Then we have ground beef. We prefer grass-fed, grass-finished when we can find it. And don't forget the sauce that almost nobody can pronounce. Make sure to brown the meat. You can add the garlic and onion and sauce while it's still a little pink. Once it's browned completely, set it aside. Steam your vegetables while you are browning the meat and fill the bowl with this first. Then your browned meat and then the cheese, and you're done. For the next meal, you'll need pasta sauce. I prefer to use Rao's, but it's now as expensive as Primal Kitchen. You just want to find one that has little to no sugar. This brand and Simple Truth were the only other ones and try to get one with organic whole tomatoes peeled. Then we have the palmini. I've been wanting to try this, and it was very good for this. The texture is a little tougher than traditional pasta, but really did not have any taste or anything like a pasta would. Last of all, ground beef, same as before. These are the basic instructions for the palmini that we're going to follow, and some additional information. If you check at the bottom underneath the instructions, you'll see there's some additional information about changing the texture that I mentioned before. And then we have some information about what palmini is. First, we're going to drain and rinse the palmini. See how it even looks like regular pasta? Then we're going to brown the meat as usual. Once it is completely browned, we're going to set it aside while we prepare the other ingredients. First, we're going to add the sauce, then the palmini. Next, mix them and heat them up. Then, mix in the browned ground beef. Once everything is completely mixed together and incorporated within each other, you have a low-carb spaghetti. So, if you liked the content that I had today, if anything here resonates with you, feel free to subscribe. And again, thank you for your time, thank you for watching, and I will see y'all on the next video. Bye.